Hey guys, I have Sector 3 for you of this latest Conquest. So I've gone through the whole sector and I've got all of the feats accomplished, the boss feats and the mini boss feats. And I'm slowly working my way through the feats in the sector itself. So I want to show you what I'm using. I've got some different ideas that I know are floating out there. But I thought it would be a good idea to just kind of show you everything and then we'll be all set. So I'm going to show you a bunch of footage I took today. And yeah, we'll go over why I'm doing what I'm doing. And also just other characters you can use instead. Obviously, I don't have all of the fun tools, and there are a few in this sector that are really good to use that I just don't have myself built up, so I'll let you know which ones those are as well. All right, let's hop in. So as usual, I want to start by looking at the feats that we're going to be doing in this sector. So it's pretty straightforward, and thankfully they're all doable. So yes, even the Inquisitor feat is doable. So obviously that one there, you need to defeat 50 enemies with Inquisitorious units. Pretty straightforward. This one you don't need to win for. I'll just let you know right away, which is fantastic because most of our Inquisitors are fairly weak, but you can get this done. It will be a little bit grindy, but it's doable. Next one is pretty straightforward as well. Win 14 battles with no attackers in your squad. Pretty cut and dry right there. And then you need to gain stealth 40 times, and you also need to attempt to inflict stagger 60 times. So again, all pretty straightforward. So I just wanted to show you all the different teams that I'm using because I think they are a lot of fun, and you'll probably have some of them. And also give you some ideas of teams that I can't use because I don't have geared, but can also get these feats done as well. All right, so the first node that I'm showing you here is a Karth node with Nest on it. I think these are some of the best nodes to look for just because Nest is really great to farm these debuffs off of, like Stagger and stuff, just because she's so hard to chew through once she gets her bonus protection going. But the first one I want to show you is actually a no attacker team. And this one just kind of walks through. It's really fun. So I'm going to do Padme and all of support. I have a Zealous Ambition disc equipped, which makes Padme hit it makes support in general hit so much harder. So I'm going to take her, Yoda, Kenobi, Shock, and C-3PO. Just double checking none of them have the attacker tag, which we're all good to go. I do also have the Premonition disc equipped right now. I've just thrown it on. It is a disc that you get for winning 20 battles without a leader in the leader slot, which is easy to cheese on the Sector 2 boss if you haven't seen that yet. But having that disc equipped makes this feat also pretty straightforward just to get through the battle because you're gaining foresight so much, and it's really handy to have for the Inquisitor feats. I think this disc is going to come in really clutch to keep them alive because you're gaining that foresight, and I'll show you what I mean once we get to some of those feats later on. But you can see Padme is just walking through here, so this is going to be great. We're going to get one tick towards no attackers because of this, and we're also going to be able to finish the Premonition feat here. I think that once you put this disc on, if you use Padme, you're going to get through this feat in 1 or 2 battles at most. I did it in 1, which is wild, but I'm not mad about it. So, like I said, that disc is going to be really helpful for this sector and the sectors moving forward. Okay, guys, so this team here, I'm going to take my troopers in, which is great for the Stagger feat because of Stark. He has Stagger on his AoE. I am going to use Dark Trooper, which means I'm not going to double dip on the no support. You can take Dark Trooper out. I did do it without Dark Trooper, and I used Gideon instead, even though he's only gear 10 or 11. And I just did it against Bad Batch node instead of this First Order node. But again, I literally was just trying to get through a couple of nodes and make my way into the map and then also start picking up some of these feats passively while I did it. So we're just looking to get some staggers. Obviously, probably shouldn't have gone against a First Order team with them, just because it gets a little dicey, as you can see, and it's going to be a node that I'm going to have to go back and clean up. But I am going to keep it because we do manage to get his AoE out. You can see he didn't land a single stagger, but the feat is attempt to inflict. So we are good there and get 4. Okay, guys, so like I said, having Dark Trooper there doesn't let you get the no support feat. So I took Dark Trooper out. I went against Bad Batch without over-prepared, put Gideon in, and we now have no attackers in our squad, so we can double dip here and get Stagger and a battle of no attackers in the squad as well. So pretty straightforward. Like I said, I like to pick on Bad Batch nodes without over-prepared. They're a lot of fun to farm the feats off of, and we're good to go. Okay, so this is the team that I also use for Stagger. More Stagger. So it's Jedi Master Luke lead. You need Watt to put the tank tech on him. You're going to take Veteran Han, Shock, and Hermit Yoda. Veteran Han has the ability to inflict Stagger on his basic. If the target is already debuffed, he will attack again and attempt to inflict Stagger. So like I said, you want to put the tank tech on Jedi Master Luke, and I obviously went in against a node with Nest. And the idea is to just keep calling Vet Han on anyone who is debuffed, hopefully, and just keep him alive as long as possible. Again, doesn't matter if you win or not. These are actually ideal to time out on or lose, to be honest with you, because then you're not eating into your roster's stamina, and you can take your Jedi Master Luke or your Shock or whoever that you need and use them on a battle that you actually need to win for and not have to worry about their stamina being depleted. So again, just a pretty simple team to put together to get those debuffs out there. This works with pretty much anyone who is a light side character that will inflict a debuff. You can use this Jedi Master Luke lead for it. And then there is another team that I also really like for Stagger, and I will show you that one right now as well. Okay, so like I said, I really like to beat up on Bad Batch teams. This is a really good team to, if they're not over-prepared, to farm these feats off of. So this one is going to be a Smuggler team. You're going to take Qira lead. You can see she's gear 10. Does not matter. I like to take Han and Chewie, and then again, the veterans. And the reason why you're going to do Qira here is because she has an AoE stagger on her special, and she can actually call an assist as well. So you're always going to start by shooting Echo because you want to control this team as much as possible so that you're able to do as much as possible. Kira's going to AoE. We get a bunch of staggers out right away. And the great thing is because they're already starting to get debuffed, usually by the time Veteran Han gets his turn, you can target someone who's debuffed and get another stagger out there or attempt it. Kira's second special, you can call an assist. You're going to call Veteran Han again and get another stagger out there. And you're just going to keep going until you either win, lose, time out. Again, I would probably time out on it. I chose not to. But you're just getting all of the staggers out there as much as possible with Veteran Han and Kira's AoE. All right, so this JTR team can get you 2 feats if you win, if you choose to win. Whether you use Holdo or C-3PO, you're going to get Stealth from R2, and it's a team that has no attackers, so if you do win, it'll count towards that. I personally just don't have the right discs equipped at the moment to get the win. But again, I'm just trying to farm Stealth, and then we can go from there. So this is one of the easiest. Another team you can use that I don't have built up, and ironically am facing, is Bad Batch. As you can see, they're going to gain Stealth as well. So Bad Batch would be a really good option for that feat too. Again, I don't have them built, so that's why we're sticking with R2. And then there is another team that I want to show you that is really easy. You can't, unfortunately, double dip with it in this sector on any of the other feats. But it is a really easy team to get you some more stealth if that's what you are looking for. So you can see we're just going to lose, and it's fine because no one's going to lose their stamina, but we're going to get credit for all the stealth that we got during the fight anyway. And then this other team that I want to show you for stealth, like I said, you can't double dip with this. You're going to take, against any node, it doesn't really matter. You're going to go to your bounty hunters and you're going to take Aurra lead, and then you're going to take 4 other attackers that are bounty hunters because her leadership grants all bounty hunters who are attackers only stealth at the start of the battle, which is why I like to take a full squad of attackers. So you can't double dip with this, like I said, but you get to go in, you gain stealth right away, and you essentially just lose. But you've gotten 5 stealth from it immediately, which is pretty great and convenient. You can win if you want to. If you do go against a node and you want to win, that's totally fine. Like I said, you're just going to go into your stamina. Usually Aurra dies because a lot of people don't have her built up. But you can't double dip on anything else, unfortunately, with this squad. But it is an option just to kind of get those stealths at the last minute if you need them. All right, let's talk about some Inquisitor kills, some Inquisitor cheese. So this is, obviously I'm going against a Geonosian team. And this was probably the best way I found to do it so far. So you're going to take Traya lead because her leadership affects characters that are attacking out of turn, which obviously the Geos are going to do. You want Watt and you want a tank. I chose Jedi Master Luke. You're going to want a tank. Don't take Malak. You need a tank that keeps his protection because you're going to put the tank tech on him from Watt. And then obviously 2 Inquisitors. And the idea is you put the tank tech on your tank. So I put it on Luke. So that the Geos are going to focus on him. And then I did not put any other tech out there because when a character with tech takes a turn, Watt assists and he will put dots on that character. If the character dies, then you kind of lose out on getting a kill with the Inquisitors. But Traya's leadership here is just kind of letting the Geos kill themselves off. So they're going to get really low health, and then your Inquisitors are going to be able to get some kills here. So my 2 that I took second sister and 8th brother here. I just arbitrarily picked the 2 strongest to see if it would work. And my second sister is 6 stars, gear 11, but my 8th brother is only 3 stars, gear 9. So just something to keep in mind that it is totally doable. And yeah, the idea here is just to get a few kills with your Inquisitors. You don't need to win. You can time out if you don't want to waste your stamina here and just, kind of farm the kills that way, or you can win and come back to it later. So I'm going to show you it again on a different Geonosian node once I kind of had a better idea of what I was doing. So we'll hop in there now. And you can see, again, I'm taking the exact same squad. Again, I only really care about them landing the kills. This isn't anything to do with Purge right now, so we're good. We just need 2 to tag along. I do, on this battle, have the Premonition Disc equipped again, which I find ironic because I haven't ever really liked the Premonition Disc, but I find it to be really helpful just in terms of keeping your tank around, keeping the Inquisitors around. It seemed to work fairly nicely. And I really enjoyed it. So I would probably use that. And I think it's going to be helpful for Purge in the next sector as well, just to kind of keep everybody around and alive. So I did, with Jedi Master Luke, if you choose to use him, I did use his first special because he won't attack. He can't call anybody, which means he's not going to steal a kill, which is why I chose to use it. And then you do want to AoE when they're relatively low so that you can try and get as many kills as possible. And hopefully you'll be good to go. And then again, this is perfect to know that it's cheesable. Like I said, gear 11 and gear 9. And you'll be able to get a couple of kills and have a buffer this way. And I found that Geos were just the best way that I found so far. You can also do a similar composition against a Phoenix team without Sabine. I just didn't see any personally in my Sector 3, so I was quite happy to see Geos, and I went with Geos. I assume it would work against Mon Mothma. I did not try it, so don't quote me on it. Again, I would be a little hesitant if it was a Mon Mothma team with Baze just because of his AoE, but pretty straightforward. We're getting some kills there, so that'll be a good buffer. All right, so we have the mini boss. The mini boss here, you have 2 feats. You need to win with Jedi Knight Revan and Bastila Shan surviving, and then you also need to have no Jedi, no Sith. Win with 1 attacker in your squad without losing anybody. So I'm going in with the Bam Han Chewie team that I usually do, which means I have Volatile Accelerator equipped and Amplify Agony. It is not the best set of discs to use in this particular enemy battle because of Darth Malak and him gaining his turn meter and fear, etc. But it does work in terms of keeping them alive. Obviously, if Bam hadn't died for me, then we would have gotten both feats in one. But I will take getting at least one of them out of the way for now. And then the second time I went back in, I chose to do a different team to win with the at least one attacker on your squad and nobody dying on the team. So I went in with Padme. I did take Kat, Kenobi, Skywalker, and Ahsoka. I do have Zealous Ambition equipped now, so I've taken off the Volatile Accelerator and Amplify Agony. And I'll show you my discs exactly at the end of this, just so you kind of have an idea. But I figured I would go after Bastila here instead of Malak, just to kind of control how much fear would be out there. But this team is pretty straightforward. It is a little annoying that you have to have an attacker on the team, to be honest with you, because you can't double dip on that no attackers sector feat for winning with a team there. But it does work. So I'll just... Yeah, you can see that Zealous Ambition disc really helps Padme hit hard, which is why it's so great to have on when you're using her. Those healer and support boosts. Obviously, everyone else here, except for Kenobi, is an attacker, but it works really well for her. And I felt a little weird that Kat didn't really get to use her instant kill, but... You can see it's working. Kenobi's going to be able to cleanse all the debuffs off of you so you can stay alive. And Padme is giving you more buffs so you can keep staying alive some more. Perfect. So then you also get the 3 stars and you get the feat done and you're good to go. So I want to show you the discs that I used for this specific one because I did change them around. And obviously you want to be able to do it. So I had Protection Recovery. I did have 2 Stacking Defiance discs on there, which gives you bonus offense, 5% offense, which stacks. And then the Zealous Ambition disc, Vitality, Power, Insatiable. So just discs basically that are boosting my stats and not really affecting any negative debuffs. Okay, so the final boss is actually easier, in my opinion, than the mini boss. So you need to win with Darth Revan and Bastila Shan Fallen surviving, which is fantastic news because that means you can double dip and get your global sector feat done. So you need to win with a full Sith Empire squad, and you're going to take your full Sith Empire squad in. You're also going to be able to double dip on the Stagger feat for the sector as well because of Bastila Shan. So I just went straight forward with that. It's pretty easy. Like I said, Darth Revan is pretty much the character that was released to counter Jedi Knight Revan. So it's really straightforward. And then this also, if you can make it line up to get some kills with Revan and Malak, it's ideal because you can double dip on that feat as well from the global sector since you need 100 of them. So that is done. And then you have to go back in. You do have to do this one twice if you want both feats because the other one is to win with no Jedi, Sith, or unaligned Force users. So they're going to make you double dip as per usual. And I chose to go back in with my BAM team because you can use your 501st. I was trying to decide if I wanted to save their stamina. You could go with 501st and Chewbacca as your 5th so that you're not taking gas. So Rex lead clones with Chewbacca. And I just figured I would take Bam, Han and Chewie again, and then you want 2 other non-Jedi, Sith, or unaligned Force users. So pretty straightforward. You just go in and win and you'll get the credit for it. So that is pretty much how I got through Sector 3. I'm still going back to farm a couple of the feats still, but the sector is done and we can focus on a little bit more of the worst things coming up. The rest of the Inquisitor feats. So, pretty straightforward. Really easy. This is definitely one of my go-to teams. This is also a really good team to use if you need your 3-star nodes to clean up after the fact. So that's Sector 3. It's pretty straightforward to get through. It is obviously a little bit grindy, and huge relief that you can, if you need to get those Inquisitor kills. It is possible, and it's great that we know that it's possible. So you just want to look out for that if you need to get it. And if you need a buffer in order to get to the next crate that you're trying to get to, if you don't think there's a feat that you can finish, that's an easy buffer that's worth 10 points. So it's a little grindy, but it's doable. Other than that, we're going to head into Sector 4 tomorrow, and that should be fun because we get to inflict Purge, and I'm pretty sure we can cheese our way to that as well. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.